So this is a video on how to play that little bit of the intro to Crazy Train. Now, the main thing is whether you're seated or standing, you want to keep your thumb about halfway down. You don't want it to be peeking up here. You want it to be behind the neck, and that way your fingers are able to reach comfortably enough to get around to the E string and the A string over top here where we're primarily working. And when we're playing, you're going to be trying to stick to just the tips of your fingers, whichever finger you're using. Now, I am really just focusing on these 4 frets in this area here on the 2 strings on top, and notice my picking hand. So I've got it over here on the bridge area. I'm just kind of resting it on the top of the guitar, and it is tilted a little bit this way when I'm playing, just so that I have a better, more effective approach. And back to my fretting. When I'm fretting it, I am lifting up my fingers like I've talked about in the lessons. So it's one note at a time that is being down, so you don't have them running together and getting all muddy. So I'm exaggerating the movements just so that it makes a lot more sense. If I come at another angle, so you want to do something like that when you're playing this, and it can take a bit of time to get really used to doing that. But we're going to be going, and then just remember, hit this. No, because you like to play it this way, and that's fine. I tend to do it this way, but either way, it's going to get the same notes, just in different frets. So when you're doing it, just don't forget you start that note there, and then try not to do this long finger coming across like this. You want it at the tip of your finger, so it's and you may have to start out slowly at first just to get it right, and then gradually increase the speed. And as we also talked about with the riff, when you're about to go into the power chord, what happens is you're doing this part. I think it maybe is 3 or 4 times, and just when you think you're starting a whole other round of it, as I said in the lesson, you're gonna go, and then you don't finish that because you go directly to the 5th fret power chord on the A string here. So this is, and like you were doing before, and it's sounding really good that you're doing it this way, like I told you, your pointer finger is touching that E string to mute it, and then you're playing the D power chord. This is a D power chord here at the 5th fret. And what I'm doing here is this finger is laying across, but I'm not laying down, like fretting all these strings. It's just making contact with, so that they're quiet, just like that E string there. So the only notes that you're going to hear are these here that I'm fretting for the power chord. And so, and just as a reminder of those other positions, so we start with, we'll always have the open A string here. This is the A string, or 5th string coming from the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not 6, but number 5. And we fret the string number 2 on the 5th fret, and then middle finger goes on the 6th fret of string number 3, and then ring finger goes on string number 4, 7th fret, and you go, and you're just hitting those 3 that your fingers are on, not the bottom E string, not the top 2 here, just this. Then we come up 1 fret, and this middle finger is going to go down 1 string, and this pointer finger will bar across. That means that if I didn't have these fingers here, I am actually fretting this 4th fret, only the 4 strings from the bottom up to here. The top 2 are not being fretted, but I'm going to put these back here because this is what you actually want. We went from this and came up, bar this across, bring that middle finger down to the 2nd string on the 5th fret. So you got your ring finger on string number 4, fret number 6, middle on string number 2, fret number 5, point your finger across the 4 strings on the 4th fret, and you're hitting, well, you will hit that open A, but then you're hitting all of those strings from the 4th string down, so every one of these. And then you keep this exact same shape. You don't have to move to any other strings. You stay right on this shape, but move up 2 spaces. So you're on the 2nd fret with this same shape. And again, just like before, you're gonna hit the open A and hit all of these strings below. And then the last thing is, you don't even have to move this finger. You just take these off, and you're gonna hit those 4 strings, not the bottom one. I'm only fretting the 3 strings, string 2, 3, and 4, and leaving the open A string up here. I don't hit the E string. I'm just hitting the A and then the other 3 and leaving the bottom one muted, so I get that. So if you were to try to play it all together, it's important, keep this thumb about here roughly. In general, when you're doing these sort of barred chords, keep it about halfway. You don't want it up too high, but it's okay to be even lower. But in general, about midway right here, so that you can get this just right. All right, hope that's helpful.